what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Aurie Styla's Replay Gang. I'm going to do the rundown of my guest today. He is an amazing stand-up comedian, writer, actor. His live shows have won a string of awards and nominations. He starred in BBC One drama The Ark. And most recently, you'll have heard him on his hilarious podcast, Northern News, and his Radio 4 series, Ian Smith is Stressed. And we'll find out why in just a bit. He's also a gamer, which is good news for us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ian Smith to the Replay Gang. What is going on, Ian Smith?
Yeah, thank you. I feel it's nice to have your CV read out to you.
It is.
It sort of ups your confidence a bit.
It does. I'm glad you feel good, man. And I have to ask, why are you stressed?
Well, today I'm stressed because this flat that I rent has only single glazing windows. So I've got a blanket on my legs like a pensioner.
You are showing I was about to say you're showing your age.
Yeah.
Mate.
This house has aged me so much.
Do you know what? I did a show recently, and there was a woman in the front row, probably a pensioner as well. But I mean, when I found out how old she was, I get it. She sat in the front row with a blanket around her legs, keeping her warm, and I felt it was such an easy target to go for. But I also understood at the same time that I don't know how cold it is where she's sitting.
Yeah, I'd never bring this blanket to a gig. I'd never sit in the front row of a gig with a blanket on. But on Zoom it's okay. It's kind of hidden how old the lower half of my body looks. It doesn't sound good. I'm an old man from the waist down.
An old man for the waist down. That is one for the potential partners in life, ladies and gentlemen. That is a great CV for Tinder. An old man for the waist down.
Yeah.
So Northern News, where in the north are you from, sir?
I'm from a little town called Goole in East Yorkshire.
Wow. Goole is the name of the town.
Yeah. It apparently means it's not like cesspit, but it's something like that. It's like like marsh or somewhere where they used to dispose of things. Yeah, it's not got the best reputation, but it's all right. We've just got a Costa coffee.
Well done.
Done. It's doing all right.
That's it. When you get a Costa coffee and a Holland and Barrett, you can see that the town is reinvesting.
Yeah. I think we've got a Holland and Barrett as well.
Well, hey, big up Goole. Well done to Goole. Right, let's talk about you in gaming. First game you ever remember playing?
I was thinking about it'll be a Super Nintendo game. Okay. And I can't remember which one we got first, but the one that I remember playing a lot was a game called Plok. It's incredible. I've played it as every now and then as an adult, I kind of see the Super Nintendo and hook it up to the TV.
Yeah.
And Plok is like the old platform games, that kind of 2D, a bit like a very early Abe's Odyssey style kind of game. But the story is stupid. It's about this guy called Plok, and his island has been infested with fleas.
Okay.
So he's going around and he's fighting the fleas. And his power is that his limbs can fly off. So he's just firing his arm at someone. If you're really going for it, his arms and legs are off and he's just bobbing about on his arse. I couldn't really tell you what else is happening other than that. But it's a really great game. It's got an incredible psychedelic soundtrack. I feel like some of those early SNES games, you can tell the people who made them were on heavy hallucinogenics.
You'd have to be to create games that, in general, biggest one is obviously Mario, and then look at all the items that you have to take to be able to power yourself up.
Yeah.
So mushrooms and flowers.
Yeah, Mario's only gone one level above not hiding at all that it's about drugs. If they just took it one step down, he'd be collecting just loads of spliffs that are on the floor that he's picking up.
It's very true. Hit a block and then all of a sudden, there's one. And yeah. But yeah, okay, Plok. I'll look into it. I've never seen Plok before. There are so many games that when I speak to people, who could be the same age as me, playing the same consoles as me, games that kind of came out that nobody would ever have heard of, because back then producing a game was 3 months to 6 months and a game would come out. you had so many people creating as many games as they can just to be the next big thing. Who's going to be the next like franchise game that will be forever like embedded into gaming culture? And there were so many duds or so many games that did one and then no one ever heard of them. So if you go through a list of like SNES games, there are thousands of ones that you'd see that you've never heard of. So it doesn't surprise me I've not heard of Plok. It's a random game that people remember, and the fact that you remember it is interesting as well.
Yeah. It's weird as well because like I'm probably remembering this wrong, but like when the SNES was out, I don't know how you heard about games. Like I don't remember anything being advertised on TV, or maybe I'm like too young for that. I never got like a Nintendo magazine. We were just going to Blockbuster Video, and we would look at all the games on the wall, and we'd just be like reading the back of them, and we'd rent like 2 games, and then if we liked one of the games, we'd rent it again. But yeah, we owned Plok. I don't know why anyone in our family would have bought it. So just kind of buy it, and it's like just coincidence.
We never really got advertising for video games unless they were huge, and it would be very rare that you'd see the adverts. But if you Google any video game that's popular of the 90s, they all had television adverts. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, Super Mario, obviously, Donkey Kong, they all had adverts, but they were only ever shown in the North American market. Where like a Donkey Kong, I can remember somebody dressed up in a huge like gorilla mascot outfit promoting the game, and it would be the advert or the commercial on television. We never got those. I think Here Saw It is too ridiculous. When you get a chance, go on YouTube, on your computer, and just type in your favorite video game and type in commercial, and there will be one of the craziest of commercials. They had them for consoles as well, and they were weird. There was a commercial, I think it was PlayStation, where someone has a baby and shoots the baby out, and the baby grows into something. I can't remember how it grows, but just like someone's giving birth, baby flies out, and the baby grows into something during its time of flying out into like a PlayStation gamer of some sort. It's really weird.
And one thing I found with Plok is like you couldn't. There's a lot of SNES games that you couldn't save. Like some of those like level games. Like I loved a game called Lost Vikings on SNES, and you'd have the codes for every level. Plok, you just couldn't save. So if you wanted to complete it, you had to just play it. But that's like hours and hours. It's quite a long game.
Yeah.
So we never completed it. But then it gets this kind of like this mystery in sort of me and my brother's like mind, because you see this like huge map of where he's got to get to.
Yeah.
And we've covered like a quarter of the map, and it's already getting really difficult. So like it built up this like weird thing in my head where I'm like, oh man, imagine what else is coming up, or what's that little thing in the corner? Like I wonder what that is. And I remember one time, must have been in like uni or a bit older, where you realise there's like playthroughs on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I remember watching someone complete Plok, and just like my mind's blown, because as a kid that's all I wanted, to complete Plok, and now you can just watch someone do it. But I felt that like excitement of seeing a new level and hearing like the new music and seeing a new bad guy, where I was like, oh my god, the spider comes at him. Oh shit. Like it sort of ruins it a bit that you can watch playthroughs on YouTube, but if you can't complete a game, and it's like...
That's the way to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what a Plok looks like. I'm going to have to look into it myself, or who Plok is. Are there any characters when you were younger you remember going, that's a bit of me? Or anyone that resonated with you when you were growing up that made you go, this is who I am or who I want to be? Even till now, it could be, actually. It doesn't have to be when you were younger. Yeah,
I don't know if I ever, like, really connected with, like, a video game character. Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus. I love those games.
Hello.
And they were maybe the because you get to talk. You're like, I'm talking.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
They're so good.
They were so good, those games.
I tried to play like the remake a while ago.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get into it as much. But the fact that you're controlling like a conversation And also, I think it was like one of the first games. I seem to like weirdly be into games that do this, but it had like a moral compass. Like you can
Yes.
complete the game by not really saving anyone, and that's okay. Or you can really go out of your way to try and save people from a difficult situation that
Yeah.
you have to keep replaying and keep replaying. Like the idea of saving everyone. So I guess you feel a bit more involved in because you're making a bit of a choice. In the same way that Metal Gear Solid started introducing like tranquilizer guns, so
Yes.
you could go through it all by not killing anyone. And same with like Red Dead. I'm like playing Red Dead 2 again at the minute and trying to do it with like the moral
Good character
compass being
choices.
as like a
Yeah.
good guy. But it's hard because like killing people is like the most fun part of the game.
Do you know what? People say that a lot about games where you, Infamous was one of my favorite ones where you get to choose good character choices or bad character choices. And by whatever you pick, it powers you up in a particular way. I couldn't take it I couldn't play it and ever pick a bad character choice. There was something about
Really?
me that, yeah, this is a question I ask everybody during the podcast is about if you like good or bad character choices in game. I never could go with the bad ones. I've tried it once, I think with Infamous 2 on PlayStation 3, and I just couldn't do it. I tried it a few times. I'm like, no, this is mean. Rather than I'm supposed to be the hero and I'm just destroying anything. But then the irony is, if you give me a game where I am basically a bad character, or no matter what I do, I have to make bad character choices. Like, for example, the game Prototype, which was very similar to Infamous, but a lot more intense in terms of you were this mega powered virus zombie-esque kind of thing. And not a zombie, but you are like this super powered person because of this bio thing that is inside of you. But to keep yourself alive, you have to absorb people. So there's people in the game walking around and you literally grab them and like tear them apart and absorb them.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me going, but that's okay because you have to do that. You don't have a choice. If I have the choice to be good, I wouldn't do it that way. So it's really weird. I think it's something to do with how we approach life in general and our moral compass. But the fact that we can project them in video games, a lot of us kind of shows how connected we are with the games. It doesn't have to necessarily be the characters. We connect with the games and we find resonance in the ideologies of, do I do good or do I do bad? Rather than just, oh, am I a good character who makes choices because I relate to that character?
It is weird because like sometimes I like to play a game. I'm sort of quite into like, I know none of it's realistic, but quite sort of serious or like heavy games like Metal Gear Solid and Last of Us and Red Dead and GTA and stuff. And sometimes I'll play it kind of thinking, what would I do in this situation?
Yeah.
But then like as soon as one thing goes wrong, like in Metal Gear, if you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna trank everyone and I'm just gonna like be really good about this, and then someone sneaks up behind you and starts shooting you, and then maybe there's something wrong with me, but it makes me go, well, I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to go back to your friend that's sleeping, and I'm going to shoot him in the head. I've done that before where I kill the people who I've already tranked, and I think there's something wrong with me.
You'd like Shadow of Mordor with the Nemesis system, because if someone takes you out, or you take someone out in the game, and you die, they remember you. And you have to, and when you go back and fight them, they're harder to beat, and they remember you specifically for taking them out. So you'd enjoy that element of it where you've done me wrong, I'm gonna come back and get my retribution.
Yeah, that is cool.
Greatest video game of all time.
Yeah, this is really tough. So I was thinking about, have sort of three things in my head for like different reasons. So my instinct was to say like the first Metal Gear game. Like, not the first, but for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, I loved that game so much. And I think Kojima is, like, mad and has such, like, distinct sort of style.
Yeah.
And then, like, I was trying to think what games I've played more than anything that I would get, like, addicted to. And one of them is, like, Football Manager. I think there's like a psychology to Football Manager that is it's like life ruining. I like I won't let myself play Football Manager now. I only play it when I go to the Edinburgh Fringe.
Okay.
When I know my show's ready, I play Football Manager. When I come back to the house, to stop myself thinking about Edinburgh or to get stressed about that.
Yeah.
But that's because I get so involved in the game.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing and all I'm thinking about. So there's something crazy about that game. And maybe this is like controversial. Basically, The Last of Us 2, I love so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the gameplay and the engine of it is great. And the story is like, it feels like a really like adult game. Like I find it hard maybe to choose an older game because if I was to play it, I'd be like, the gameplay is a bit clunky or it doesn't feel. So I think I'm someone who, when the next like game comes out, I'm probably quite liable to go like to look at something like when the new GTA comes out to just sort of go, oh man, this just surpasses everything now. So yeah, at the minute I think it's probably Last of Us 2. Like I've gone through that like 3 times, and I know some people hate it, but I think a bit of that is like just the misogyny of
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, like I find it crazy people's thoughts on the fact that they kill off Joe.
Yeah.
And everyone's like really pissed off about it. I just think like if it was a TV series or a film, it's like a really good choice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's really dramatic, and making you play as the person who kills him is such a like smart and frustrating move. When you realize you've got to do it, like what we're talking about, moral choices, it puts you in this thing where you're like, I don't want to fucking do that. And it sort of encompasses what it is. It's like this horrible post-apocalyptic world where you have to make horrible choices. And I think that's really smart. But yeah, I find it weird that some people have just gone like, I wanted to play as the male character and I don't, this girl's got big muscles and it's making me feel confused and I don't like it.
Yeah, they only get happy, like that same genre of people with that level of misogyny will go, oh no, I can't play as her. So yeah, The Last of Us 2 did have that, where you had all these zombies flying around and all these kind of creatures trying to kill you. But the issue they had is, but it was a woman that killed a man. And people need to get past that. I never finished Last of Us. I'm notorious for saying this. I've played through bits of it. I know the storyline. I've actually watched playthroughs, but I won't play it because I don't like games. Games that make me scared. And
weirdly, that's a game. I guess I'd gone out of like gaming for a while. Like when I was a kid, I had those like PlayStation magazines, and I was always like hyped up with what games were coming out. So I'd never played The Last of Us, the original. And weirdly, from what we were saying, I saw an advert for Last of Us 2 on TV. This was like during lockdown. I think it came out during lockdown or just before. But I saw this advert with like a kind of creepy acoustic cover of, I forget the name of the song. It looked really like filmic, and I love kind of post-apocalyptic stuff. Yeah. And I saw that advert and was like, oh man, I've got to get that, but I've got to play the first game. So I bought the first one, and I wouldn't let myself buy the second one until I finished the first one because I'm trying to like ration out like treats during lockdown because I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to have any money. I don't know what support is coming in. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So I played the first one and it's good, but I just wanted to get to the second. But yeah, I had moments where it's so pathetic, but I was pausing the game because it was stressing me out. And I was like feeling my heart in my chest, just like thinking, I shouldn't be reacting like this much. Yeah. But it's tense. If your character dies in that, the kind of scene that they do is brutal. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw that where the character dies, and yeah, it's just like they really show you like what happens, and just thinking, oh no, I can't let that happen again. I've got like, yeah, it really affected me. Fair enough. They do that in loads of games where you can see like
someone will die, and then they'll have either just a post-death scene, which is got a bit of an Easter egg in it, which makes you go, I don't want that to happen. Like, for example, the Batman games, in any of the Arkham games, once you die, the leader of the goon that might have killed you, let's say if it was one of Penguin's crew, Penguin will step over you and then he'll say something which gets you annoyed enough that when you play it again, you're like, I'm not letting him beat me again. And it's kind of that way of egging you on to go, come back and try again, or else I'm going to keep mocking you every time this happens. I like when games do that. What about worst game of all time that you've ever played?
It's probably just like fun stuff that I get addicted to, but I have no interest in.
Okay, I thought you were going to say your anti-phone games, but it's more that they are so, yeah, they are the drugs of video games, where they're built to make you never want to leave.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think if I've played a game on my phone other than like Football Manager. I would play on my phone. There's this flick football game. Okay. I forget the name of it, where you kind of
try to flick it to a goal or something, and you do like curves and arches and
and you can like map out the path of like the pass and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, if I'm just procrastinating, I'll download a game like that, and I'll just play it, and the whole time in my head I'm thinking, I'm getting nothing from this. I don't care about the story. Yeah. The gameplay isn't good. All I'm doing is procrastinating. So I think I have this like emotional anger that's like attached to phone games. Yeah, I can't think of like a phone game that I've loved really. Okay. I think they're all just a distraction.
It's like they're kind of casino builds where you as soon as you're in, how do we make sure we keep you in, because they make their money off of all the adverts that pop up, or all the money you spend to not be hit by all the adverts. So phone gaming as a whole, yes, it's gaming, but some of them are built to be so addictive that I can understand why they are the worst for a lot of people. So you don't have to pick a particular game, but we know exactly what type of game that you mean. I think I know the answer to this one, only because of the games that you've listed: solo, online multiplayer, or face-to-face multiplayer, and why. I'm going to guess and say you prefer solo because of the storylines and the journey that you go through.
Yeah, I don't think like... I never used to really play multiplayer games. Like, when I was a kid, me and my brother, but probably like more like SNES level kind of era games when we do that. Like, but yeah, as a grown up, like, other than playing like Mario Kart with people and like, you know, loving playing that. Yeah, I really like those games where you kind of immerse yourself in a long storyline. Yeah, I'm quite into your sort of long cutscene, serious, really getting into a character kind of games. But yeah, they're just so addictive. I guess they just make you feel a bit of an attachment, and you can, those kind of multiple run-throughs and like wanting to complete everything, like trying to 100% like a GTA or Red Dead, that kind of stuff.
Well, no, I'm with it. I love Marvel Spider-Man games. There are parts in the games that I wouldn't say upset. I know that I feel away though, because I'm coming towards the end of it, and I'm like, because the story arc and the journey we've been on through the game, you almost put yourself in those positions. Obviously, I'm not jumping off any buildings in real life to try and swing from one to the other, but you put yourself in them and live vicariously through these characters, and when you get to the end of the story, you're like, oh, what do I do now? And I go back and I do all the side missions, but I'm sitting there going, I don't even need to do these really. But I want to play through it to 100% the game.
Yeah, and I find it hard to watch, I guess like a battle kind of game like Mario Kart, but I find it hard to watch someone play a game that I like and that I think I'm good at. Like, if you're bringing someone else in to be like, oh, let's play this game, or we should like, let's take it in turns and let's do this. Having to watch someone play a game badly that you like, where you're just watching it going, no, just in the corner, you press X, oh man. Like, yeah, I can't do that. I just like to be in my own little world.
Makes sense. If there was a video game that was based on your life, or you could make one based on your life, how would it look? What would it look like?
Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yes. Every now and then, yeah. Great show. Great, well-written show too.
I'd want to cross like that with like a GTA sort of thing. All the aggression and escapism of GTA, but for really like minor grievances in your life.
Yeah.
So you could have a level where you finished your food and you're trying to get the attention to like ask for the bill, and no one's coming, so you're allowed to get up and just destroy the restaurant. I think that's what I need in my life. It would take so much stress out of my life, and then I wouldn't feel the stress in real life.
Yeah.
That's my thinking.
Do you know, for someone with such a calm demeanor,
Yeah.
you are mad aggressive when you're ready.
Yeah.
That just came out. If you don't get the bill, so you'd be allowed to get up and smash the restaurant. And you say it so calmly, but there is almost a calm. I'm trying to think of the character, like a John Wick of you, like a John Wickism of you, where it's such a calm demeanor and you don't seem rageless, like you don't shout, but cross you, and all of a sudden, the entire room is covered in red.
Yeah. Well, maybe, but this is why, I can take it out in my little fantasy world.
Yeah.
Yeah, just any little like annoying thing. I don't like it when you're walking down the street and someone else has come in and it's quite busy, and I think both people have got to do a little move to the side.
Yeah.
Some people, and I think it's usually like rich people who don't feel like they should move. They're sort of like, oh, people can walk around me. Just like a level where, I guess whatever mad thing I'm going to say, you can set them on fire, or you can
rip them in half and just keep walking through them.
Yeah, stuff like I think it would make people feel so much calmer in real life, or it could make them worse.
You are Alex Mercer from Prototype. I think you should go. The game I said earlier on, I think you should go look into it and look at what Alex Mercer's like. He just seemed so calm until he turned bad or turned into this virus thing. You are him, and people that walked into him, he pushed them out of the way, or he would just grab them and just absorb them. It was really weird. But that kind of calm rage of yours, I see the fire behind your eye. Like Hulk when he tries to keep himself like well behaved.
It is fun. I went to Slovakia with some friends of mine, and we smashed up a car with some sledgehammers.
You paid to do that as an experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, can you
I should say that.
Lead with that, because it sounded like, oh yeah, we just went to Slovakia and just did the thing of destroying someone's car.
Yeah, no, it was a paid experience. Smash up the car, and then you get in a tank, and then you drive over the car in a tank. And I think that's the most relaxed I've felt doing that.
Wait, hold on. Did you say tank?
Yeah, you get in a tank at the end.
Wait, I almost let that fly.
Someone drove a tank, and we were stood on the back of the tank, and the tank goes over the car.
Okay.
But they let you mess up the car a bit before the tank.
That's insane.
Yeah. There's no real point smashing the car with the hammers, because the tank really destroys
it's just gonna flatten it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's good fun.
I don't know who to make the phone call to even book that for me and anyone else that'd want to do it here. You have to leave the country for that.
Yeah, you've got to go to Slovakia. I recommend it.
I'm glad you found an outlet that doesn't allow this to build up, and then like you get that one audience member that just presses your button, like the stag party, and all of a sudden you just go crazy. All right, so we got a game we play. It's called L or R, right? It's very simple. I give you one of two options, and you just pick one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah? The first one I already know, Sega or Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo, I think.
Of course it's going to be, and that's fine. Red Dead or Metal Gear?
Yeah, that's so hard. Metal Gear is so confusing. I can at least tell someone what's happening in Red Dead 2.
Fair enough. Good character choices or evil character choices? See, we spoke about this already.
Yeah, I think I've got to go evil. I love completing a game with the good choices, but it's fun. It's fun being evil when you don't do it in your real life. I feel like I'm a good person.
What if NPCs though one day say that we are sentient and you guys, like in Free Guy, for example, and you can't keep doing this to us or else we'll rebel?
Yeah, I reckon I'd stop then. But until that day, Until I'm
that day, you're
playing
just
and they
smashing
turn
tanks in the
around.
world of, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Only be able to play games you've already completed, or only be able to play new games you've never tried.
Oh, I'm gonna say new games purely because I don't want to miss out on the incredible stuff that's coming up. I'd feel really bad if I saw everyone playing like, oh, have you tried GTA 11? And I'm like, I'm just playing GTA 4 at the minute and just like going over it again. I couldn't deal with that.
GTA 11's not coming out until you're 97 years old. I just want you to
Yeah.
know this right now. The fact that GTA 5 has been on 3 consoles, the gap between GTA 6 and 7 is going to be like 20 years. It's not going to come
Yeah.
out.
That's sad, isn't it? That you can sort of judge your life by how many GTAs you're going to see.
I tell you what throws me on that is when people tell me what their first games console was, and it's a PlayStation with the number after me and behind it.
Oh, yeah.
When they tell me, my first games console is a PS2, I'm sitting there like, ugh.
Yeah. That's too young.
This is it. Every games console I can think of that has been pivotal in my upbringing have always been the first of the generation of those consoles. In my house, I had the first Sega Master System. That was the first of Sega's console. I had a Game Boy, the first of Nintendo's handhelds. My cousin had a NES, the first of Nintendo's game console that they had going on. Obviously, they had little side things that they would do, like the Game & Watch and so on for the Game Boy. But the first of the generation of each one, I had the first Xbox, first PlayStation, and I still have my Nintendos up until now. I love my Switch. I love my Xbox Series X and my PS5. When someone says my first one was the Xbox 360, I'm like, you didn't even get the first Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's real cringy when I hear that. But yeah, you're right. And it's the same with GTA. Some people's first GTA is like GTA 3 that came out on the PS2. Whereas GTA for me was the top-down game that you'd play when they had GTA London as well on PC. So for me, it spins my mind when people say that. I'm like, you haven't even played the one before it. Ugh.
Yeah. Can I ask you, this is potentially a sad question. How many GTAs do you reckon you're going to get to play? What do you reckon, if you really look after yourself,
Okay.
what do you reckon you're getting up to?
So if I look after myself and I get to 70, 80, and I stop playing games as deep by like my early 60s, maybe mid 60s, and if you divide the gap between the years of GTA 3, 4, and 5, I would honestly say that the answer, whilst I've played, let's say, completed GTA 3, played 4, played 5, let's just say if my number now is 5 of them, but just not including like Vice City and San Andreas, the answer will still be 5 because I'm sick and tired of playing GTA.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry to have led you on that long journey.
No, that's okay.
GTA is a great open world game when they only focus on the story of the open world. When they went into focusing on GTA Online and all the money they can make that way, I understand what Rockstar do. I just think for me, solo gameplay, it takes that away now. The storyline for me is what makes the games great. GTA is a sandbox game that has now been turned into a almost MMORPG, open world, develop a character, build a character, live your life vicarious game that focuses on making money. I'm not knocking it. I think that's great when it comes to business. But for me, I want a story. And the last time GTA had a story was when people were playing it on the PS3 and the PS4, the 360 and the Xbox One. And now it's all about the online gameplay. I can't get into it. It's too...
Yeah.
And if that's where they keep going, hopefully 6's story mode is great. If I see more online before I see story, you won't see me playing it.
Yeah, I don't care about the online element at all. But I love it when like the game and like the initial game comes out. I reckon I might get to play GTA 8.
8 is probably going to be the last one. If we get to 9, we might see 9. Will you be playing it? Probably not.
Yeah, I reckon if 9 comes out, my hands will have arthritis that's too bad to play it.
Exactly.
Unless it's just like a chip in my head.
He's sitting there just like that, playing, looking at the screen.
Yeah.
Let's hope not. Let's hope it doesn't get to that point. Have a partner, be with a partner that hates video games and hates that you play it, or be with a partner that forever beats you at any video game that you ever play with them.
Hates video games.
You prefer that?
Yeah, and I as a stand-up as well, if someone's got like a 9-to-5 job, you can just play when they're out of the house, and you can pretend that you weren't playing them.
Okay. Even if they give you stress about you playing them when you're at the house, you don't mind hearing that?
I'd hide the console. I'd hide everything. I'd unpack it all, get it out, and then put it away. That's the lengths I'd go to.
Fair enough. TV shows and movies based on video games, or video games based on TV shows and movies? I feel like there's only one right answer to this one, but everyone's got a different perspective.
Yeah, well, I'd say TV shows based on video games. There's been some really good ones recently, like Last of Us and Fallout.
Fallout.
Yeah, I thought they were great. Yeah, I guess there's been some bad ones as well, but I get quite excited about the idea of, are they going to pull it off? Because so many have been done like badly. If I was writing, I'd love to, like if you had one big success as a writer and you could just pick, what do you want to do next?
Yeah.
The challenge of going, I'm going to adapt my favorite video game would be so cool.
I love
Plok, the TV series.
We'll see how well that goes.
Yeah.
Have you watched Secret Level on Prime?
No.
Watch Secret Level. It is the whole anthology series. Phenomenal.
What's it about?
Phenomenal. They take video games and they create shorts based on the video games. And they're all CGI based. They take like Pac-Man, Warhammer with Space Marine, and they'll make like a short 10-minute, kind of like how Black Mirror makes individual episodes on the concept, but these are like 10 to 15 minutes long, and they're all based on the games. The Pac-Man episode, I want you to watch it. When you watch the Pac-Man episode, I want you to message me or call me and say, Aurie, I've seen it, and let me know what you think it is.
I'm going to write this down.
Mate, I've never seen anybody like contextualize Pac-Man the way that they did in that. It is dark, to say the least.
Yeah.
It's dark. So watch that. All right, final one. Live in a world based on video games, or have video game characters live in this world?
I guess like have video game characters in this world. But I think, depending on the characters, I mean, it'd be exciting for a bit, but then I reckon in 5 years' time, we'd be like, I don't know, like at war with Pac-Man or something.
You watch The Secret Level.
Yeah.
You do not want to be at war with Pac-Man. I just want you to know this. It creeped me out watching it. You do not want to be at war with Pac-Man at all.
Okay.
Listen, Ian, thank you for coming on to the show. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let people know where you're going to be, what you're up to over the next few months, even anything you want people to check out, anything that you've got that they can go, hey, I want to go see Ian. Where can that be? Yeah,
so the Northern News podcast, where we take sort of bizarre, weird stories from the North, and I chat about them with Amy Gledhill.
Hey.
She's great. I'm going to be doing loads of work in progress gigs over the next year, and I think be at the Edinburgh Fringe. But the best place to kind of find me is probably on Instagram, while I don't have a good website. So I need to get a website. But other than that as well, the last show that I did, Crushing, that was nominated for the Edinburgh Comedy Award, is getting released by 800 Pound Gorilla, and it'll be on their website on the 24th of February and then up on YouTube on the 11th of March. So I'd love people to watch that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. You heard exactly what you said and where to check out Ian Smith. Thank you for being a part of the show today, my friend. I really appreciate you. Take care.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right. You've been listening to Aurie Styla's Replay Gang. The show is written and presented by me, Aurie Styla, and produced by Matt Nida. Replay Gang is a Wild Ambitions production. Leave us a rating, tell your friends, and we'll be back with another episode next week.